right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. Today, we've got a crazy descending ladder, ascending weight for you here. We got a triplet of handstand push-ups, over the bar burpees, and progressively heavier snatches. We may be looking at this thinking, this is absolutely insane. Handstand push-ups, the snatch is an intimidating move to me. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well, and we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it. Right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. So the first move we're going to do today is the pigeon. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the pigeon is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So on this pigeon, we are laying face down and we've got the one leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And we're sinking into this pose here, which opens up the hips, relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band, and overall promotes good squat positioning. And let's go ahead and switch sides on this pigeon. So we're going to get the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And on this pigeon, we've mentioned how, hey, it helps us with our squat positioning. And in the squat, we always talk about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. That is actively what we are improving here in the pigeon. Next, we got some reverse plank ups. Let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 reverse plank ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse plank up is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse plank ups together. So it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrist for some of us, in which case we may choose to do the glute bridge, just like we see Iron Man Dean doing over here. We're going to lay on our back, pull the feet in close to the hips, squeeze those glutes, get the hips higher and higher each rep. But if we're doing the reverse plank up as prescribed, we are sitting with those legs out in front of us, hands to the side, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips higher and higher each rep. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. So good job on the reverse plank up. Next, we got some walk the floors from the straddle position. Let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 1 walk the floor for us from the straddle position. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now, it could be that getting all the way to the ground, chest and thighs, could be a challenge for some of us. So we've got some options here. We can do the walk the floor down to the plank. Let's have Twin 1 demonstrate. We're going to get our hands to the ground, walk out to that plank, walk it back, and then reach back at the top. Or we could do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have Twin 1 demonstrate here. We're going to start with our feet standing up against an inclined surface, such as a counter, or a piece of furniture, but then we're going to get our hands down, take a couple steps back, then a couple steps forward, and then we clap overhead. But if we're doing the walk the floor as prescribed, we are reaching all the way down, walking out to that plank, getting the chest and thighs to the ground, and then leading with the hips on the way back up. With those feet nice and wide in a straddle position. So good job on these walk the floors. Next, we've got some air squats. Let's go and have twin one. Demonstrate 2 air squats for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the air squats are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 air squats together. So on these air squats, we're going to be standing with the feet shoulder width apart. And then we are going to initiate by setting those hips back and down, pushing the knees out to the side throughout the movement until we get all the way down, hips below the knees, keeping the heels on the ground, driving through the heels until we get to a fully standing position. Now, getting those hips all the way down below the knees could be a challenge for some of us, in which case we may choose to do some assisted squats, which is where we can sit and stand to a chair or a footstool or a medicine ball or any other level of assistance as needed. But good job here on these air squats. Next, we've got some good mornings. Let's go ahead and have Betty Boop demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the good morning is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 good mornings together. So on these good mornings, we have those arms folded across the chest, and then we're going to send those hips back with a slight bend in the knees until we get that chest to just about parallel. And then we're going to squeeze those glutes until we get all the way back up to a fully standing locked out position. And we want our shoulders back throughout the whole move here to keep a nice neutral spine and keep that back nice and straight. And so good job here on these good mornings. Next, we're going to grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. We know which club we're in, but whatever the case, we're grabbing something super light here. And with this broomstick, we're going to have twin one demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pass-throughs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So on these pass-throughs, we've got a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we are pulling it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front. And of course, we're remembering our pass-through smile, which relaxes the muscles and helps us to have a nice fluid range of motion. So good job on these pass-throughs. Next, we've got some snatch grip deadlift. First, let's have twin one show us how we're going to hold this thing. We've got the hook grip on there. So we've got the thumb wrapped around, fingers over the thumb, And we're gonna have a nice wide grip since we're doing snatches. And let's have twin one demonstrate 2 snatch grip deadlifts. And if we're doing this from the seated position, same hook grip, and we're going to do the snatch grip deadlift like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 snatch grip deadlifts together. So on the snatch grip deadlift, we've got those hands nice and wide. The feet are close together underneath the hips. And at the start of the deadlift, those hips are going to be super low, but the chest is up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in to brace the belly. And then we're going to drive the ground away until we get to a fully standing position with the shoulders back at the top. And of course, we are bracing that core on the way back down as well. So good job on these snatch grip deadlifts. Next, we got some snatch high pulls. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 snatch high pulls for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the snatch high pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 snatch high pulls together. So on the snatch high pull, we're going to start in the very same way as that snatch grip deadlift, except as soon as that bar reaches the knees, we are going to explode using the power of the hips, the glutes, and the hamstrings. We are popping that bar up and getting the elbows high and outside in order to keep it close to the body. And so, starting with the snatch grip deadlift, as soon as it reaches the knees, popping with the power of the hips. And let's keep those elbows above the bar at the top. We're getting to a scarecrow position at the top to really train a good bar path motion. So, good job here on the snatch high pull. And finally, here in the activation phase, we've got the strict press. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on the strict press, we now have those hands a little bit closer in, but we've got the bar in the rack position, elbows pointing forward, and we're going to take a deep breath in, pressing the head through as we press the arms back, getting the biceps into the ear at the top. And then we're getting those elbows nice and high, pointed forward and up in the rack position every single time on the way down. That is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is handstand push-ups, which are going to look like this. Now, that may seem absolutely insane, but don't worry, we've got plenty of options available for you and progressions to help you to safely and efficiently work up to that motion. So the first progression that we're going to work on is straddle pike push-ups. And let's have twin one demonstrate 2 straddle pike push-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then what we're going to be doing for today is actually grabbing two dumbbells and we're going to be doing overhead press like this. So let's all join in if you haven't done so yet. Let's do 5 straddle pike push-ups. Now, it could be that this is a very challenging motion for us, in which case we could just do some incline push-ups or even regular push-ups off the ground. And let's have Twin One show us what some incline push-ups may look like. So this could be off a counter, off a sofa, or any other sturdy piece of furniture. Where we're going to be in an incline position, and then we're going to lower our chest to that surface and push back up. And let's use a high enough surface that we can get the full range of motion. We want that chest to touch. So if we need to go to a higher surface in order to achieve that, then let's do that. But good job on these straddle pikes or incline push-ups. The next step up would be box or chair assisted handstand push-ups. And let's have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps for us with the knees on either a chair or a box at an appropriate, comfortable height for us. And then, of course, from the seated position, we're continuing with these overhead presses. At this point, if you feel like, you know what, maybe I can go a little bit heavier on the dumbbell, it would get a couple practice reps with a heavier dumbbell. But let's go ahead and hit a couple of these box or chair assisted handstand push-ups. And a couple notes here, we want the hands as close as we can to the surface and the hips as high as we can in the air to really replicate that motion of getting upside down. And after we feel comfortable doing this off the knees, we can do a couple reps off the feet and do a pike push-up. Now, that is a more advanced movement that requires more upper body musculature and practice. And we want to make sure that we also have, of course, a sturdy surface that's not going to move and that we feel comfortable doing that with. Now, if you have been coached in private sessions and you feel comfortable kicking up into a handstand position like Twin One has, I'd like you to now practice some handstand kick-ups using however much level of assistance is needed underneath. But we're just kicking up to the wall, not doing handstand push-ups yet, but just getting the heels on and then kicking back off, practicing just the motion of getting the heels to the wall. That's always going to be the first step, and we need to be confident in that before we do the push-up motion. And then after a couple kick-ups, we can then do some strict handstand push-ups using however much assistance is needed. We're going to get our head to touch the motion or touch whatever level of assistance we have and press the head through as we lock those arms out at the top. But good job here on whichever version of the handstand push-up, whether it's assisted or if we're doing incline push-ups, we have lots of options here for everyone. The second move that we are doing in today's workout is the over the bar burpee. And let's look on as Ironman Dean demonstrates 2 reps of the over the bar burpee for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the burpee is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 reps of the over the bar burpee. Now, it could be that getting all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we got you covered. We can do some incline burpees, and let's have Twin One demonstrate here. So the same incline surface that we were just using, I'm gonna get our hands down, take a couple steps back. Optionally, we can include a push-up, but if we're also doing incline push-ups, we may decide to forego that push-up today, but then take a couple steps back and then clap overhead at the top of each rep. So either with or without the push-up at full extension, that's going to be the incline burpee. Or it could be, hey, you know what? I'm getting to the ground, but maybe just to the plank for now, working my way down. And so we can get our hands down, jump or step those feet back to the plank, jump or step forward, and then we get over the bar. But if we're doing the over the bar burpee as prescribed, we are getting those hands to the ground, getting the chest to deck, thighs on the ground, leading with the hips on the way back up, and then preferably jumping with a 2-foot jump over the bar if we are doing the RX intermediate or scale today. Otherwise, whatever our circumstances dictate, if we need to step for today to manage the impact, that is always a priority. But good job here on these burpees. And the third move that we are doing today is the snatch. Specifically, you have the choice to do either a power snatch, which is without a squat, or a squat snatch, which includes a squat. Let's have Twin One demonstrate 2 power snatches, followed by 2 squat snatches. Those were 2 powers, and these are the 2 squat snatches. And if we are doing this from the seated position today, then the snatch is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 power snatches. And if we have experience with the squat snatch from previous workouts, I'd like you to do 5 squat snatches as well. Otherwise, we could just do 10 power snatches. So the power snatch is getting that load from the ground and then jumping and punching overhead in one motion. At lighter weights, this is the more efficient way to get that load from the ground to overhead. As the weight gets heavier, and if we have the technique dialed in, then getting under it even more with that squat snatch is going to become a much better option, if not a necessity, if we're going heavy enough. And so let's definitely, if we haven't done the squat snatch before today, just stick to that power, which is where we just go from the ground, punch it overhead, call it a day. If we are experienced with the squat snatch, we've done that before. Let's get a couple practice reps dialing that in. And I'm going to recommend that we start off each set with 1 squat snatch before powering as much of the rest as we can to get the muscle memory dialed in. But good job here on the snatch. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX starting weight on those snatches, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps, 1 to 2 squat snatches, followed by 2 to 3 power snatches, or maybe all powers if we know we're not going to squat today. But we're going to add a little bit of weight each time until we get to the starting weight that we want to use for our division. But if we have not been earning badges or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please let's not add any weight, that broomstick, is going to be more than enough for us today. But whether we're adding weights or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number one, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number two, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number three, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number four, music. Super important, especially in a descending ladder, ascending weight workout like today. We want full focus. We want full hype. We want a playlist that's going to support us as that bar potentially gets heavier. So what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. The reps start high, they get lower, the weight gets higher, potentially. There's a lot going on. We're going to be upside down all over the place. It's easy to get lost unless we are teachers' pets and we come prepared. So if you are a teacher's pet, let's go ahead and show that whiteboard on screen, or if we're digital teacher's pets, that counts as well. But let's take this teacher's pet picture. Here we go. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer. We're about to do this descending ladder workout, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 of handstand push-ups, over the bar burpees, and progressively heavier snatches. So specifically, we're doing 10 handstand push-ups, followed by 10 over the bar burpees, then 10 snatches in the first round. Then we're going to do 8 of each in the second round, adding some weight to the snatch, potentially. Then 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. On these handstand push-ups, let's pick the option that is appropriate for us. If we have not been coached in private sessions on getting upside down, let's not kick up to a handstand today. Let's just do either the push-ups off the ground or off the incline, or perhaps even the straddle pike push-up off the ground if we feel comfortable with that. On the over-the-bar burpees, let's pick the option there that's good for us. If we're already doing incline push-ups for the handstand push-ups, then we may want to consider not including that push-up on the incline burpees. But other than that, we are managing our pace on those burpees, picking the option that's good for us, jumping if our circumstances allow over the bar. And then on that snatch, we are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges. And we are powering most of these reps if we're still working on our overhead squat positioning. But if we are comfortable and experienced in the squat snatch, I'd like to recommend you start off each set with one of those squat snatches and power as much of the rest of the set as you can. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 5 rounds of descending reps of handstand push-ups, over-the-bar burpees, and snatches with potentially progressively heavier weights. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here, and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight twin 1 to get us going. So here we go. 10 handstand push-ups, 10 over-the-bar burpees, 10 snatches. Squat or not, that's up to you. And then it's all downhill from there. Starting in 10, seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. And we've got twin one on these handstand push-ups, kicking up to the wall, getting that head to the ground, pushing the head through. We got Iron Man Dean doing the straddle pike push-ups. Mighty Mouse doing some standing strict press with the dumbbells. Some nice heavy dumbbells there to match her level of ability. After these 10, jumping for joy on these over the bar burpees. Chest to deck, getting up, hopping over. And we've got Iron Man Dean as well, hopping over this bar. And Mighty Mouse done with the overhead presses, doing some incline burpees. And then after we do the 10 over the bar burpees, we're going to move on to those snatches. Now, if we are experienced with the squat snatch, then we're perhaps squatting that first rep and then powering the rest. Or we may choose to power all the reps, whatever our circumstances dictate. Twin one, taking that breath, getting the hook grip dialed in. Boom, squatting that first rep. And then moving on to cycling out the rest with some nice, good looking powers. And the advantage of squatting the first one is we always talk about we should power like we squat. We want to move the bar in such a way that we are getting under it with the right technique. And we want to avoid what's called a the starfish motion, getting those legs artificially wide just to be able to call it a power as it gets heavy. And so squatting that first one dials in that movement pattern and helps us to move in such a way as if we were going to squat it. But nice work on this round of 10. Closing this out, most of us, and then moving on to the round of 8. Incidentally, as far as adding the weights go, I definitely recommend just hopping right into the next round and then adding the weight as we get to the bar. That's going to be a much better use of our time and energy. But there goes twin one, boom, kicking into the round of 8 on these handstand push-ups. Iron Man Dean already done with his 8, moving on to those burpees. But we are moving, we are grooving. All of us with different options, but challenging ourselves to the best of our ability. Getting down, getting up, getting over. But breathing through it, that's the biggest thing here. Getting oxygen to those muscles. All the way down, all the way up. After these 8 burpees, that's when we can get back to that bar, slap on some kilos or pounds, whatever our preference. And for those of us that are adding weight to the bar, we definitely should have a plan. We should know, okay, what is the weight that I want to end at in the round of 2? And hopefully we've picked our weights appropriately to build to that last weight progressively. So twin one, taking a breath in here. Squatting that first rep in this round of 8, and then moving on to some powers. Ironman Dean, deep into the set of 8. Jumping, punching under it. Mighty Mouse, doing some progressively heavier snatches here, getting some weight on there. And just a couple reps left here in this round of 8. But just like that, a number of us closing out the round of 8. Moving on to this round of 6, Ironman Dean diving into these 6 straddle pikes. Twin one, done with that bar, moving into this round of 6. On the handstand push-ups. Mighty Mouse as well on this round of 6. Already done with the 6 overhead presses. And there goes Dean on these burpees. Mighty Mouse getting started on those burpees as well. But nice work here, guys. We're breathing, we're focusing. Getting down, getting up, getting over. There goes Dean. Getting to that bar. Getting ready to snatch on this round of 6 here, keeping it close. Popping that up, punching that back. Mighty Mouse, boom. On the round of 6 snatches here, getting low. Punching that back. And twin one stepping up to that bar here for this heavier round of 6. So Ironman Dean, Mighty Mouse, diving into what I call the lightning rounds. The rounds of 4 and 2 go by in the blink of an eye. The only thing holding us back is actually the progressively heavier weight on that bar as it gets lower and lower. We got twin one, getting that first rep out of the way in this round of 6, and then boom, getting ready to close this out. But Ironman Dean, Mighty Mouse, working through the burpees. Ironman Dean taking a breather here. And getting that bar ready to fly on this round of 4 snatches. Mighty Mouse getting even more weight on there. But twin one, boom, boom, boom. Joining in on this round of 4. And there we go. Ironman Dean on this round of 2. Mighty Mouse as well. And we know what to do as we approach the finish line. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. Lowest reps, heaviest weights, full focus. That's what we want to see. Dean making the last switch here. Mighty Mouse getting ready to get into this last round. Twin one making the weight switch, closing out round 4. So let's breathe, let's focus here. Mighty Mouse on these last 2 burpees. And there goes twin one, getting the last couple snatches in the round of 4, using those legs, jumping up, punching under it. Mighty Mouse on the last couple snatches here, all the weight. And there goes Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Iron Man Dean on the last couple snatches here. Boom. All the kilos. And there goes Dean across the finish line. Twin One with the last 2 handstand push-ups already out of the way. Diving down, getting up, hopping over. And here goes Twin One. Let's cheer her on. Last couple snatches here. Making the last switch. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Iron Man Dean doing his favorite victory dance. Getting the plates on, locked and loaded. And here goes Twin One with these heaviest snatches.
You got this.
There goes the first one. Boom, and that is time for Twin One. Well, that was crazy as always. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the scorpion. That's going to be where we lay face down. And we've got those arms out to the side. And we're going to get the left foot going right as close as we can to the right hand like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get that left arm up and pull to the right like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch sides here. Now we're going to get the right foot going left as close as we can to the left hand like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get that right arm and then pull left like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the snatch. I didn't have a low, but my buffalo was also the snatch. Putting those weights, ankle weights on that bar. When it got to the end, it was kind of heavy to pick up, but I was able to pick it up. So I was surprised about that, but it was kind of difficult, but I made it.
And you did amazing, Mighty Mouse. We all knew that you could lift all the weight, and you had a plan. You stuck with it. Didn't even look like it broke a sweat on you, but that's just a testament to your dedication and discipline. So good job, Mighty Mouse. Next, let's switch to the dragon. So we're going to get one leg up, other leg back, leaning into a nice long lunge like this. Hey, you know what? If this is hard on that low knee there, then we can actually switch this to a single leg forward fold like this, reaching toward the toe, if we can reach it, or just as far as we can. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Twin One. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we are going to just twist toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Twin One?
My high were the handstand push-ups. The low was today was not a good workout day for me. My I wasn't feeling good, so I had to stay light on the weights. I wanted to live to come back another day, so I kept it light. I did not want to hurt myself, but I wanted to get the wad in. So my buffalo was that I did the workout. So I'm happy I got it done, even though I was tired, but I did it.
Appreciate that great example. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times it's days like this where we end up making the most progress in our technique and pushing the needle forward toward our goals. It's about just showing up, doing what we can, avoiding that all or nothing mentality, always doing something. And that is what you did. So good job, Twin One. And let's go ahead and let's switch into Dragon on this side. So we've got the other leg forward, leading into a nice long lunge like this. And once again, hey, if that's a bit hard on that other knee, we got you covered. We can do a single leg forward fold on this side, reaching toward that toe, or as close as we can to it. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Ironman Dean. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we can just twist toward right, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
So the high was the descending ladder because that's always more motivating for me. The low, I probably did the easier version of some of the stuff like the straddle thingies and the I did the power cleans without the squat, the power snatch without the squat. So yeah, that's probably like low part. The buffalo, yeah, I just went very quickly, so I'm happy about that also.
Always a good thing, right? But you know, it goes as quick as we put forth the effort for. So that was on you. Definitely putting in that sweat, putting in that effort, making good choices on that progressive loading. You know, we all come in feeling a certain way, and you were within the target window. So that shows you got the workout you needed to today. Good job, Dean. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left, the sweaty selfie. Because does it count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. Crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps, fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Big groove.
Fit crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.